Hello, my name is Abraham Klein, and today I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about jobs. Now, don't cut me off at that point. This is not a political ad. I'm talking about it in a different way. Whereas political ads are trying to figure out how to get you to work and actually get a job, I'm here to talk to you today about reasons and signs that you might want to quit your job. And everybody wants to quit their job. Nobody really wants to work. I mean, especially for the man. But you know, we definitely want to quit our jobs, but you want to make sure it's for a good reason. You want to make sure that there's a good sign. There's this, a good picture that's saying yes, you definitely need to quit your job. And I'm going to give you I'm going to give you 8 reasons today. 8 signs that it's time to quit your job. And I hope that this will be informative to you and that you'll learn a lot and that we can have better lives, okay? So anyway, let's get to the list right now. Number 8, and this might be, one that's somewhat self-explanatory, and probably isn't a popular reason, but I'm sure for those of you out there who, are on the drugs, things like that, this is probably a good reason. Number 8, if the job is imaginary, if it's all in your head and you're not actually working an actual job with an actual building and a boss and people, that's probably a good sign you need to quit that job, because it's just so much stress. You're not actually getting paid, and it's just a big load on you that you don't need. You probably need to quit doing the drugs too. But that's number 8. If the job is imaginary, if it's not actually a real job, you need to quit that job. Number 7, however, if someone offers you $100 billion to quit your job, I think you understand what I'm talking about here. If somebody offers you $100 billion, I think it's time to quit your job. Especially if they tell you if you don't quit your job, they won't give you $100 billion. Hey, somebody told me, take this $100 billion, quit your job, or you won't get the $100 billion. Hey, I'm quitting right then. Not even giving a 2-week notice. I'm just done at that moment. And, those kids can teach themselves as far as I'm concerned. But I wouldn't be a jerk about it. We have too many of those people that are rich and jerks at the same time. To be one or the other, okay? Either be a jerk or be rich, but don't be both. So yeah, $100 billion. If somebody offers you $100 billion to quit your job, jump on it, okay? Quit your job. And number 6, if there is a zombie apocalypse, basically any type of disaster in which possibly hundreds of millions of people are going to die, probably a good sign you need to quit your job. Because at that point, there's probably not a viable economy. Probably most of the people that you work with aren't going to be alive either. You might even be dead, for all I know. But if there's a zombie apocalypse, you probably should start thinking about quitting your job. Because, you'll probably go into work. Probably the building will be destroyed. There might even be zombies there. Not unlike the ones you already work with, right? But you definitely want to consider, and this applies to other natural disasters, which like a meteor hits your business and it's destroyed, and some more of Yellowstone. That thing was to erupt and pretty much half the United States is destroyed at once. Probably a good sign you need to quit your job. But definitely if there's a zombie apocalypse, you definitely want to quit your job. Number 5, if they force you to work for free, and basically what that is servitude or slavery. Anytime they start saying, hey, get in these chains, and they start whipping you, it's not a good sign. Because thing is, slavery, when you're in slavery, the pay isn't good, the benefits are horrible. You tend not to be allowed to do much of anything that you want to. It's not the best work environment. And I would say if they attempt to try to put you into servitude or slavery, probably a good sign you need to quit. I mean, just throwing it out there, probably a good sign you need to quit your job. Number 4, and these other ones were probably more extreme examples. This is more tame, more relatable one. But if you can find a better job, that's probably a good sign you need to quit your job. Now, if that better job only gets you, say you're only working at that point Mondays and Wednesdays, and you get this new job in which you can work Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would say you can keep your job while also working the other job. However, if you were working 7 days a week, 10 in the morning, 10 at night, or 5 in the morning, 10 at night, and you get a better job, and which offers better pay and better benefits, probably a good sign you need to quit your job. And that again, that's a maybe. That's a maybe. Because, hey, it's possible to have 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4, 5 jobs at once. If you really work at it. But that's number 4. Number 3, if where you're working goes out of business. I hope this is pretty self-explanatory, because say the business you're working for, okay? They're a business, they have assets, they have a building, they have employees, they have an owner, and then one day you go to work and there's a sign on the door that says, out of business, closed down, and building for lease, all those different signs. That's a good sign you probably need to quit your job, because truth is, just like with the slavery thing and with the zombie apocalypse thing, you're not going to be getting paid anymore. They might give you one more paycheck or something like that, but once the business is out of business, they're not going to pay you. You're going to lose your benefits. You might have to apply for unemployment at that point. But whether you can get or not, I don't know. But, it'll be a quieter atmosphere at work, for sure. But I think the doors will be locked by the person that actually owns the building. And so it'll be very difficult to get in at that point. But say you can get in. Say, you still have a good key that can get in. It definitely will be a more quiet atmosphere. There won't be as many people. Probably none at all. And you won't really have to answer to the man anymore. But I would say you probably should quit, because at that point, you're just standing around for nothing. Literally for nothing. So that's a good sign you need to quit your job. Number 2, and I would think that this is one that all of us would agree on. If you die, interestingly enough, I've done some research on this. The unemployment rate amongst dead people is actually hovering around 100%. Surprisingly, the voter turnout is still pretty good, but the work, the amount of people working that are dead is not good. I mean, I guess there seems to be some discrimination against dead people, I guess. So if you die, that's a good sign. You probably need to quit, because they're probably going to get rid of you and replace you anyway. I've found pretty much anytime somebody is working a job and then they die, it's not long that they end up getting replaced anyway. So definitely good sign. It's time to quit your job. And number 1, definite surefire sign that you need to quit your job is if you get fired. Now I want you to imagine this. You're going into work, you're grumbling as always, because that's the way we're supposed to act around work, right? Because we hate the man. But you go into work and they're like, hey, don't come back here again except as a customer. Here's your pink slip, here's your last paycheck. We don't want you working anymore here, you're fired. If you start hearing stuff like that, it's probably a good sign that you need to quit your job. You need to get out of there. Especially if they're like, hey, you destroyed about $10,000 worth of inventory. We're going to call the police on you. You should probably also run at that point, because that's just a good sign. You need to quit your job. And so these were 8 reasons, 8 surefire signs that you need to quit your job. There may be some others. I would definitely not suggest that just because you're not satisfied with your job anymore, just because it's not fun anymore, is not a good reason. But if you find yourself in any of these circumstances, that's probably when you need to start considering quitting your job, finding another place of employment, or just going home and sitting on the couch. So I hope this has been informative. I hope it's been helpful, and I hope that you will apply these measures, these ideas, these suggestions in your life, and that you will become a more prosperous, more productive person in society. So I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.